Hey Panther fans, it's time to kick for cancer. Every kick with Aiden Parker is a chance to kick cancer out of this world. To do your part in helping Aiden, go to shspantherfootball.com, click the link, and you can help raise money for childhood cancer research. Most of all, your donation is being made in honor of one of our very own Panthers, Veda Powell. So visit shspantherfootball.com, click the link where it says Aiden Kicks
done and, have a chance to redeem ourselves this year. And, our kids have kind of taken it personal, I think, and they worked really hard, and our coaching staff has taken it personal. And, I'm excited about the direction we're heading right now. So, you got to put that behind you and get fired up. A lot of places would have parades if you made it to the second round of playoffs, but, we're not doing that here. And, but I'm just excited about this year.
Well, Coach, you guys kind of came out of the year, went into the spring with your weight program, your conditioning and all that. I know you got some work in a little bit. We don't have spring training like folks used to, but when you guys hit the ground this summer, how did workouts go, and what are some things you tried to accomplish this summer with you guys?
Well, we had pretty good workouts this summer and pretty good attendance. We have a lot of kids that play a lot of different sports, and we've had more this summer that had places to be and things to do than we've had in a long time. So I'm trying to adjust, my way of thinking to that too. Yeah. And, I think this summer we probably didn't get in as good a condition as I'd like to have because of the heat, you know, and then of course that bled into the fall camp and everything. So, you just, we're still worried about our conditioning.
Well, Coach, also over the summer, I know you added some new coaches and you got some guys, even some other coaches that are in different roles this year. Can you just real quickly kind of run us down on who the new guys are and kind of what their roles are?
Yeah, I'll start with Coach Buffington. Tyler was here with us once before. Of course, he's a graduate of Sterlington, I believe, 2014. May be wrong about that, but somewhere in that area. And he did his student teaching here with us. And, he was one of those guys that did, 2 or 3, 4 years with us. And they left. He got married, moved to Mississippi. His wife went to law school over there. She's finished up. They've moved back. And, I always wanted to hire him as soon as I got the chance. So we've hired him. He's going to coach running backs for us. He's doing a good job, and we're excited about him. The other hire we had was Dwayne Williams. Dwayne is from Ouachita. He went to Ouachita High School originally. He's been at Wasman and been up at Bastrop. We hired him from Bastrop. He does a great job. He's a DB coach and brings a lot of energy to our staff. And so we're excited about him and what he brings as staff. And we've hired Brian Chrislip from West Monroe. And Brian has been at West Monroe, and he's an old Mississippi boy as well. So that's like that. I'm trying to get them all here. And but we're excited about him, and he's coaching receivers for us. He's doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, and I noticed, Coach, with Coach Chrislip, that your last 2 receiver coaches have been kind of mild-mannered, quiet guys, and he doesn't fit the MO of a Bucky Chandler or an Adam Dearman.
We kind of changed the mantra on that a little bit, and but he's doing a great job, and he'll help coach softball as well. His daughter's a fantastic softball player. And, Dwayne will help with boys basketball. So we think that'll help with the transition between basketball and football, and Buff will help with baseball. So that'll be another guy that comes in and helps with the transition between the 2 sports.
Well, Coach, I know you also this year, Coach Sims has taken on a new role. You want to talk about that just for a moment?
Yeah, Coach Sims has been with me, since I've been here, and we've been in that defensive meeting rooms together for 7, 8 years, I guess now. And, I asked him to take it over this year, if he'd take the defensive coordinator role on and allow me to do some other things. And he graciously accepted, and he's doing a great job, and he's just a go-getter, and it means a lot to him. And, we're proud to have him in that role.
Absolutely. Some great guys on that coaching staff. And, of course, you return back all of your other guys that do a great job for you week in and week out. Well, Coach, coming into the fall, I know we lost a group of seniors, but you also had last year, even with the 6-6 record, had a lot of young guys who got a lot of playing time. You've got some guys returning who were big contributors even when they were sophomores and freshmen. Talk to us a little about some of the young guys and some of the returning guys that you're looking forward to seeing as we get started here in week 1.
Well, I think our offensive line has a lot of guys that played a lot of football last year coming back, just starting with the tight end spot. McNair played a lot last year as a sophomore, probably wasn't quite ready to play, but he got thrown to the fire. Grayson Gilmore is going to play some tight end for us as well as some defensive end. Then we got Hodnett, of course, is coming back at tackle, and expect big things out of him. Roach, Landon Taylor, Bozeman, Will Wachter, all those guys got a chance to come in and play a lot for us. Whitlock's going to play. He played a lot last year as a freshman. So, In our backfield, of course, you got Cody Copeland and Gavin Evans at fullback, and we feel really, really good about them guys.
Yeah.
And, Hagan Herring and Tremel Cobbin will be tailbacks for us, and those guys are seasoned veterans and glad to have them back. And at receiver, we're running a lot of folks in and out of there. Travis Adams is playing. Jacob Breen is playing. Idaho's playing a lot. Noah Crane, Cullen Barnett. We got a lot of guys who are running on and off the field. Devin Downs will play some receiver as well. So a lot of guys, and still a lot of young guys in that group.
Yeah, no doubt. A lot of reps and things. Coach, I was talking to Tremel this afternoon and just reminding him, and last year he carried a lot of the load, and this year having a kid like we saw Hagan Herring in the scrimmage and then in the Jamboree last week. What does it mean to have two tailbacks that you really can kind of interchange as you need to?
I just know when we've had two guys back there who can carry the ball, we've always been pretty good.
Yeah.
And, you can rotate them guys and still give them enough carries to be meaningful to them, and I just know we always have a good chance when we got two guys like that.
Yeah. And then, Coach, over on the defensive side, of course, the kind of the heart of the defense has been your front seven, your defensive line and your linebackers. Talk about those guys just for a minute and kind of what you're expecting from them.
Well, 6 of our 7 starters up front are seniors, and we're excited about those guys. Hatfield, of course, is going to start at one end. McCarthy, the starter at the other end. Jack Moore and Caleb Evans will be inside for us. We feel like we're going to get some good snaps out of Bennett Weems as well up front. Jackson King returns. I think he's been a 3-year starter for us. Dylan Underwood. And then Trey Birch will be a sophomore this year. And, we got a lot of experience up there. Trey played an awful lot on special teams last year as a freshman. So feel good about that front 7. We just don't have a lot of depth yet, but I think it'll come as we get more reps.
Well, good deal. Well, Coach, every year I know you kind of give your team a mantra, a theme for the season. What was it this year for you guys?
We decided to go with get back right, and we just feel like that's where we need to do is get back right, and so we're excited about that, and we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, Coach, let's talk about the Jamboree. Of course, again, you and Neville, or us and Neville, got together and had a great event this year at Sterlington. Last year was at Neville, this year at Sterlington. And I told you after the game, I thought from a fan's perspective, it was a huge success. A competitive ball game. Got to see a lot of young guys with the junior highs playing, and then even the JV game. A lot of people came out. The competition was fun. But what stood out to you from the field with what you saw between your team and Neville?
Well, I just told our kids, at the end of the night, I want to be able to tell them I'm proud of them and not lie to them, And so I was really proud of how we competed and got in there and got after it. And I thought we fought tooth and nail. I think we stood toe-to-toe with them. And, we had some self-inflicted things that hurt us. And but though all those are correctable, what you can't correct a lot of times is playing hard. And, I was excited about how hard we played and got after them. So Neville's got a great team. A lot of team speed, and but I thought we stood up there and battled with them in the trenches, especially.
Yeah. Well, Coach, I know that even watching some other area jamborees around the area, not having the crowd that you had, how does that kind of environment prepare you for the season and some of the places we'll go this year, and then even as we head towards playoffs towards the end of the season?
Well, I think it's just an awesome time if you can get that type of environment in a game that really doesn't count.
Right.
That was a huge crowd there the other night, and the environment was playoff type atmosphere, and man, to get that experience before you even get to week 1 is great. And look, that's going to prepare us to go into West Monroe, and they'll have awesome atmosphere there. So we've been there. So
yeah. Well, Coach, as far as the game went, you talk about going toe-to-toe. What enabled, or what did you see from your offense, from your defense? I mean, we didn't see a lot of special teams. I don't know. I don't remember that we punted maybe once. I don't know that we even did. But offense, defense, what did you see and what stood out to you against Neville?
Well, I think, I like the way we controlled the line of scrimmage. I think with both fronts, defensively and offensively, I think we did a good job. I don't remember. I think they had 58 yards rushing maybe, and, maybe 30 of them was on one run. So, and then we turned around on us, I thought we controlled the line of scrimmage offensively. we just I forgot exactly. I think we had 140 yards rushing maybe in 2 quarters. And that was split, pretty evenly between 4 backs. So, that was exciting to watch. I mean, there's some things we got to improve on. We had guys, tackle behind the line of scrimmage, and he broke it on the long run. And, I think we put the ball on the ground a couple of times, and that's what killed us last year. So hopefully we'll get that corrected. But what I did like is we didn't have many pre-snap penalties.
Right.
Well, that was another positive.
Yeah, no doubt. We've talked about it a lot. That really, I mean, as good as we are offensively at times, playing behind the sticks is never a good place for us. And play calls have to shift and do. And it seems like even in the Jamboree, you guys were kind of fixed some of those things from last year already.
Yeah, well, we worked on it a whole lot. And, it's good to see you guys take coaching. And like I said, it was a great time. Enjoyed it. And look forward to hopefully doing that with Neville again next year.
Well, Coach, we're getting ready to head into week 1, and we're going to talk about player of the game in a moment. But just where you are right now with your team, what are you kind of sensing from those guys? How hungry do you think they are, and kind of what are your expectations going forward?
Well, I think we're definitely hungry. And I think, we have a sense of urgency about us that I didn't really detect a whole lot last year. Just hope that carries on. But, our practice has been crisp, and, we're still making mistakes at practice, but we're getting from point A to point B, and our kids seem to like each other, and I think that's a big deal.
Yeah.
I think your kids got to like each other and love each other and play for each other, and I'm seeing a lot of that right now. So coaches are really getting after it, and like I said, everybody's undefeated right now, so it's easy to sit here and talk about
it.
So,
well, I thought I better ask you all the positive questions tonight before we get rolling.
Yeah. So, but I'm excited about it.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, you and I talked today about player of the game. We typically start that in week 2, but last week there was one young man that kind of stood out, and you and I agreed, hey, let's recognize him tonight. And for those of you that are watching and those in the room, every week we'll have our players of the game brought to you by First Security Title and Mr. Mitch Houston. And we usually will do offense, defense, special teams. But Coach, we agreed just one guy tonight that you wanted to recognize. So who was our player of the game from the Jamboree?
Oh, that'd be Carter Morris. He did a – come on up, Carter. I think Carter did a –
man, we can't have nothing nice, Coach.
That's okay, Carter.
Just set it down,
I
Carter.
really was wanting to turn those lights on anyway, and that curtain was blocking them. So come on in here.
Come on in.
Well, he didn't fumble any at the game the other night.
That's right.
So,
that's right.
But he had a heck of a game, and I'm very proud of him. And, being a backup quarterback, you're the most popular guy on the team or the most forgot about guy on the team. So, to come in situation, he took every rep at practice last week. He earned it. And, it's great to see that if we need him, he can step in and run the show.
Absolutely.
And, I'm very proud of him. But the player of the week this week is Carter Morris.
Carter, congratulations, bud.
Appreciate you.
Again, player of the game each week brought to you by First Security Title and Mr. Mitch Houston. Well, Coach, you talk about your seniors and the guys that you've had that have been with you now for 4 years, and coming into this final season, wanting to recognize those guys tonight. And so I want to give you a chance to do that and call those guys up and let's recognize them together.
If we could get the seniors to come up and just come stand up behind me, and like now, guys. Yeah, come on, seniors. We'll get these guys up here.
The camera shot, Coach.
Yeah, I know. Just kind of come on through and just kind of get your face on the camera here. We're excited about these guys, and got a good group of them this year. I think we got 18 of them, and so.
Yeah, I might have to even kind of get around in front, guys.
Shoot.
Hey, you short guys in the front, Wachter.
This is our senior class this year. We're excited about these guys. We talk about all the time about leading, and really the team in your senior year, it belongs to you. And so they want to go out. They want to create their own legacy, and we're excited about these guys. But these are our seniors, and you guys give them a hand. Appreciate it, guys.
All right. Well, folks, we're going to take a quick break and come right back, and we'll talk about this week's matchup with West Monroe. But again, you're watching the Lee Doty Coaches Show, brought to you by Prime Star Home Health. We'll be back in 1 minute, and we'll talk about next week's game.
Choose Prime Star Home Health. We'll provide the best care for your patient or loved one. From managing chronic conditions to wound care and therapy, we specialize in a wide range of services. Prime Star Home Health. We have the skill to heal and the spirit to care. Choose Prime Star Home Health. We'll provide the best care for your patient or loved one. From managing chronic conditions to wound care and therapy, we specialize in a wide range of services. Prime Star Home Health. We have the skill to heal and the spirit to care.
Thanks, Coach Doty. Hi, I'm Ashley Dowdy with Homeland Bank. We believe that investing in our schools and local teams means investing in our future. We're committed to creating endless possibilities both on and off the field. Together, we can build a brighter tomorrow.
Homeland Bank and the Sterlington Panthers. Together, we can build a winning team. Where's your money?
There's a bank that believes in the power of community. We are Homeland Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Yeah, we're good. All right, folks, we're back with the Lee Doty Coaches Show, again brought to you by Prime Star Home Health. And Coach, Prime Star for us is a new sponsor this year, and so you want to say a word to those guys?
Yeah, I really appreciate Mr. Barnett taking care of this for us and being our Coaches Show sponsor and also our halftime sponsor. Really appreciate that. Prime Star Home Health. And, I also want to just give a shout out to Mr. Danny and Monica Benoit. They were a Coach Show sponsor for several years, and they chose to go to a different sponsorship this year. But, man, we appreciate what they've done and the investment they made in us, and we appreciate them. But we're excited about Prime Star.
Absolutely. Again, every week, halftime show and the Coaches Show brought to you by Prime Star Home Health. Got Coach, one group that we didn't talk about a moment ago, but I know that you're excited about is our special teams group. Talk about those guys, and especially the punter, kicker, Aiden Parker, some things that you've seen from him this summer in that group.
Well, he had a good summer. Went to several camps, was ranked a 5-star punter. But, he's gotten better, and he's worked really hard at it. And, we hired another guy that we brought back on staff is Jacob Green. Our kicker from the Dome, and he's working, hand in hand with Aiden out there, and he's, really working hard. But, our special teams is more than just the kicker and the punter, and it's a lot of components to make that thing work. We've had a good camp and good special teams work. We don't know. We didn't punt in the Jamboree, so, we don't have to punt in West Monroe. That'd be good. But, sometimes you're going to have to line up back there. So that may be, exciting for us when the first punt, to make sure everything works. But, the operations on the extra points and the field goals, we worked really hard, and, we still got a lot of work to do there. But I thought our kids on kickoff coverage did a great job the other night. And I thought our kids on kickoff return did a great job the other night. And, of course, we're 2 for 2 on the extra points. But, we're excited about that. And, I've always thought that was be a equal third of the team. So we're excited and looking forward to see what he can do.
Yeah, I know you and I have talked in the past. It's always good to know that when you have a special teams edge. And it seems like with the group of kids you've got that you're going to have that a lot of more times than what you want.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe we'll have the edge in most of the games with the special teams. And like I said, it's just reps.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, this week we get things kicked off. Last week, Jamboree, you're 0-0. Nobody lost, nobody won on the record. But this week we kick it off with week 1, headed over to West Monroe for the second consecutive year. An agreement you have with Coach Arledge, and now, of course, the Rebels are led by Coach Todd Garvin. Last year's game came up a little short, but really was a competitive ball game all the way through. I was looking back at some footage even. And as you head back over this year, what are you telling your guys, and kind of how are you preparing for West Monroe?
Well, I thought last year, we shot ourselves in the foot several times early in the game, and our defense bailed us out after the first play of the game, and held them to a field goal. We kind of come back and get a little surge going, and we just make a mistake, and it got contagious. Yeah. Fumbles are contagious and penalties are contagious. And, of course, I'm not taking anything from West Monroe. I thought they were pretty good last year and thought they were really tough on defense. But, we felt like we had a lot better chance than the score indicated, but we got to take care of the ball. playing a team like West Monroe, I think they got 23 coaches over there. They're going to be coached up, prepared, ready to go. So you got to be, nobody's ever perfect, but you got to play that way. You got to play as close to it as you can. You can't make silly penalties and silly mistakes and put the ball on the ground. And, but yeah, I thought it was competitive. I was really, really happy with how our kids competed. I don't think we ever quit against them. And I just don't think that's in us, but, I'm excited about going back over there and getting another shot at them.
Well, Coach, again, you're stepping up in class from 3A to 5A. I think that's back where we are definition-wise. That's another conversation. But stepping up in that competition. But I mentioned to you and some folks last week, when we had our media day with Neville, I know there's some alumni in the room. Coach, opening up with Evangel, Neville, and now West Monroe, what does that level of competition do for you as you move forward, regardless of outcome, even on Friday night?
Well, I hope it helps us down the road. We've always tried to play up. I like playing up, especially early. I like to put our kids in situations where they're very uncomfortable. And, you try to do that at practice, but you can't always, do that. And so, going to, playing Evangel, playing Neville, and playing West Monroe, you're going to get in some uncomfortable situations. So how can you handle that when those games down the road, when you're in the second round, you may be on the road at, Patterson or somewhere like that? How do you handle yourself? Right. So, I like to get in those situations, and I don't think it helps you to schedule Perryville High School, and I don't think you get any better. You may get a win, but
right.
I don't think it makes you any better.
Well, Coach, let's talk about this Friday night. From a defensive standpoint, West Monroe's offense is still pretty familiar to our coaching staff. And you guys have watched a lot of film, I know, from up to this point. What stands out to you about what we'll see from them offensively, and then how you kind of scheme against that defensively?
Well, to be honest with you, you're not really sure what they're going to do. They were out there starting quarterback in the scrimmage, and then in the Jamboree, I think they played 3 or 4 different quarterbacks. Now he's back. I'm not really sure if they'll be a spread team or a I formation team, power run. They got 2 really good athletes out at receiver, and they concern me tremendously. Got a couple of big offensive linemen that's going to play on Saturday somewhere. So, just the unknown for us, we're trying to prepare for both, and that makes you maybe, 50% less effective against each one of them. So they've been multiple. Their offense coordinator is a really good football coach, came out of Texas and, was on staffs over there that won state championships. So, they got a good play caller and they got good players. So, we're going to have to be ready.
Coach, when they go spread, when they go I formation, of course, Federico, that is the quarterback you're talking about, who's back this week. Game shape wise, not real sure kind of where he'll be, although he's been at baseball camp, so you assume he's at least conditioned. But when you talk about ball keys and things that you guys will key on, what kind of some things that you've got to handle on defense to be able to contain him, passing game or run game?
Well, I think we got to contain him in the pocket, and I think we didn't do a very good job against Evangel containing that quarterback. I thought we did better against Neville, so we'll have to be better this week. He's an athlete for sure, and throws it good enough. So he's a big concern for ours, and they got very capable running backs. So they're big. They got some big bruising type backs back there. So like I said, get better at defending the screens and the tunnel screens, the bubble screens, the bubble and go, and all that with number 7 and 11 out there.
Yeah. I know those receivers stood out to Jake Martin. I was reading his preview of the season, and that was 2 kids that he mentioned with those receivers. And so it'd be fun to watch that matchup for us and see kind of how the defense stacks up against them. Well, Coach, offensively, let's flip to the other side for your offense. Of course, West Monroe has been known for years for their defense. And I know Coach Arledge is gone, but his son Rob is back. And so they're going to kind of have the same identity on defense. What kind of challenges do you see them presenting to us this year, maybe similar to what they did last year?
Well, I think they'll try to cut us a lot on the offensive line and just drop on us. So, we got to work on some different things, and we got to open it up a little bit more and just try to get them uncomfortable. Try to get them out of things that they're comfortable with, and we feel like we got a good plan, and they're going to tackle well. they're going to be in the right spot all the time. But, sometimes you just got to whoop a man's butt, and that's what it's going to come down to Friday night. It's just man versus man.
Well, Coach, for some of the folks that are watching, you mentioned that they're going to cut us up front. What does that do for a defense? I know there's a lot of teams that will play this year that tends to be one of their defensive strategies is to do a lot of the cutting. What does that do for a defense when they do that?
Well, it just kind of piles everything up in the middle. If you're trying to, run veer and, it kind of clouds it up. But we have seen that so much.
Oh, yeah.
We've seen that so much that it really doesn't affect us that much when teams do it, just to be honest with you. So, but that's how they chose to play us last year a lot. So, I just kind of expect that's what they'll do again.
Well, Coach, you mentioned a moment ago, of course, Carter doing a great job managing for us last week and really had some good runs himself and things. But this week you get Dylan Downs back at quarterback. And what does that mean for your team, getting him back, and what kind of can we expect as we watch him kind of lead the team this year?
Well, you'd like to have got him some live reps last week for sure. But, and if it had been a playoff game, he would have played. But, I mean, like I said, I think Carter earned that right to do what he did. And but getting Dylan back, of course, he's got a different skill set than Carter does. And Carter's got a different skill set than he does. So Dylan gives us a little more, athletic ability back there in the pocket and allows us to do some different things. And, I like the way that I like Carter's his management skills, and you got to hope that Dylan's going to be ready to manage the game against West Monroe. And since he didn't have any really live reps, in a live quarter game. So I think he is. I mean, he started last year for us at Northwestern and did a heck of a job. And, come in at Union Parish and did a heck of a job. Probably should have left him in. So he's got game experience, and he's a winner, and he wants to succeed. So, I think we're going to be just fine with him back there. Matter of fact, I think he's got a chance to shine.
Well, Coach, looking forward to that matchup. Of course, that kickoff against West Monroe, 7 o'clock, Rebel Stadium. And I believe tickets will be available. I think they said starting at 6 or maybe it's 5:30. Fans can buy tickets there. But for the folks that are listening tonight, folks in the room, any words you'd like to just say to our fans as we get ready to kick this season off?
Well, I know we'll have a big crowd there. We had a huge crowd last year, and I think we'll probably top that this year. I'm excited about this. Our kids are excited about this. And, this will be, I'll just go ahead and tell you, this will be the last opportunity we get at West Monroe, probably while I'm here. So, we need to go there and take advantage of it. So, excited about the opportunity to go to Rebel Stadium and get after these guys and roll it down and see what happens.
Well, folks, if you can't make it, you'll be able to catch us on YouTube beginning at about 6:45 with myself and William Handy. We'll get you set for kickoff. Kickoff will happen right at 7 o'clock. And the Panthers will take on the Rebels. If you want to catch it on YouTube, you can go to shspantherfootball.com. And the link will be available there, or you can go straight to YouTube and search SHS Panther Football, and it should pull up that way. You can also go to that same website, thefootball.com, for highlight videos, game replays, and a whole lot more. And all that's being updated as we speak. Coach, final words tonight before we sign off?
Well, I appreciate everybody coming out tonight. And as always, go Panthers.
Well, folks, that's going to do it tonight for Coach Doty and the Lee Doty Coaches Show, brought to you by Prime Star Home Health. We hope you have a great night, and we look forward to seeing you this Friday night, 7 o'clock, Rebel Stadium. Go Panthers.
Ready to sell? Ready to buy? Call David Bryant, your local Sterlington realtor. David's dedication to his clients is unmatched. He'll listen to your needs, answer your questions, and guide you through every step of the process. Whether you're a first-time buyer or a seasoned investor, David has the expertise to make your real estate dreams a reality. Licensed in Louisiana, each office independently owned and operated. David Bryant, your local Sterlington realtor. Copeland Electric Company, providing excellence in electrical services since 1971. Their secret? Copeland has the manpower, resources, and knowledge to assemble and mobilize teams quickly and efficiently. Go Panthers from Copeland Electric!
Choose Prime Star Home Health. We'll provide the best care for your patient or loved one. From managing chronic conditions to wound care and therapy, we specialize in a wide range of services. Prime Star Home Health. We have the skill to heal and the spirit to care. Choose Prime Star Home Health. We'll provide the best care for your patient or loved one. From managing chronic conditions to wound care and therapy, we specialize in a wide range of services. Prime Star Home Health. We have the skill to heal and the